lot of tried all possible means to kind of export our normal map out with the HD geometry details, but could not successfully get that out. I think we're just going to continue on with what we have. So I'm going to be texturing this now. So this is like a texture and a video map from 3D Scan Store. So this is just like from the UV layout itself. So I'm basically going to be using this as my reference guide, to kind of paint in this dark skin texture in here. So let's get started with it. So instead of SubstancePainter, so let me just get this around this view. I think there's a better view here. Let me just see if I can expand this a bit more. Okay, so we're basically going to be starting from a darker shade and then work our way upwards. So I will start by, I think this should be fine. You just have to make do with what we have right now. Kind of make it work. I'm still looking at the topology, the facial structure around this side. It looks a bit weird, but that's fine. You can always fix that inside of ZBrush though. You can always fix that. So I will start with, I think we have something in here. Let me just name this height. Okay. Then I'm going to create a new layer in here. So this layer should be, let's see. So I'm going to pick the color in here. So I'll turn off the height, normal, metal. For the roughness, we want something a bit rough. Around there should be fine. And I'm going to unpick this dark shade in here. This particular dark shade should be fine. Okay. Let me make sure I'm on color. So this will serve as a good base for us. But I won't just leave this like this though. We probably need to break up the variation a bit more. Just give this a moment to save. Okay, so let me just name this to base color. And there's still one more thing we need to also do in here. Might not be completely necessary, but I think we should just add that in here. So there is a yes. So if I come in here to the, should be under smart materials. There's actually a skin texture in here that we can actually use. There's a skin texture in here that we can use. So if I just type in skin, I believe skin, face, skin human, that should be the skin face. Let me just drag this on top of the entire model. Then we'll modify it. Okay. So obviously need to kind of modify some of this. Try this base skin. Let me turn off this base skin for now. You can see all this detail happening on top of this. It doesn't seem to do much. So I think the main, okay, should be these two. So I'll take down the intensity of this very much. Maybe increase, no, something like around here should be fine. I will need to, okay, let's see if we can find a blending mode that should work for this. Let's see. I could almost work with this, but except not. Let me change this up a bit more. I want to do something that is not too aggressive, something a bit subtle. Maybe somewhere around the likes of this, then I would see somewhere around here should be fine. It just breaks up the surface a bit more for us. Let me just eyeball this again. You can still feel a bit, see if it feels a bit strong around here. Maybe something like this, and I'll go in there and then look for what is causing that and then take that down. Maybe even tune it, maybe even change the tone. Maybe just do a duplicate of that and then kind of change the tone to something else. Let me kind of increase this up a bit more. I want to kind of use a more lighter tone to this. So this one kind of breaks up the surface in between a bit more. I want to kind of use a more lighter tone to this. I should probably even remove this on normal first. Get this on normal and then let me make sure I take this, crank this all the way up first. And look for an in-between tone that should work just fine. Doesn't seem to be updating in real time. Guessing something around here should be, no, not there. Let's see if we can find another tone somewhere else that we can use. I think this might work, except I'll need to come in here kind of take this down, almost like trying to hide it completely. Okay, something like this. But I still want to kind of almost hide it completely. Okay. So that kind of breaks up the surface a bit more. Then on top of this, we still need to break up the surface even more. So on top of this, I'll probably just duplicate this again I'll raise this up. So for this, I'm more or less going to use a more of a brighter tone to it for this. Should even use a black max with no, let me just kind of get the color tone I need first for this. Get the color tone I need first for this. There's somewhere around here. Somewhere around something like this should be fine. Then I can add the black marks for this and add the fill layer. Let me do a quick save. So then I will just I need to use a, let's see, what can we use in here? You can either use a BW spots or some cloud brush. Let's just use BW instead. So I use the BW. I think this BW spots should be just fine. So now the harsher tone to it though. Let's use something that has a more softer tone to it. Something like this. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is to hit the, if you believe, is the C key. So it's just going to show me just the base alone. So you can see in between now, you can see how broken up the surface is now from without adding this new layer I just created now. You can see some break up in between, which is precisely what we want. So with this now on top of it, but I want to kind of see the marks. So you can see on the keyboard, you can see the marks for this. This is the marks for this BW. So I want to kind of have that on trilinear projection. This is something around here should be fine. But I'm not checking. I'm kind of checking the overall tone just to be sure if this tone is bright enough to use. I'm trying to figure out how bright this tone should be. This looks subtle though. I think this subtle look should work. So hitting the B key, we can see the maps we picked out for this. This is the curvature map, which we'll probably use later on. But for now, I'm going to visualize the marks for this. Now I'm not too sure about this tone. I want to kind of have something that feels a bit more almost reddish. Let me just do a duplicate for this. Then on this new duplicate, let's see if we can, let's push this towards the red. Yeah, something of this nature looks just about right for it. Yeah, something of this nature looks just about right. So I hit the C key again. I go to the marks. Let me just hide this. I might still come back to this and then just do something. Use probably different alpha in here though. But for this particular one, I'm going to tighten up the alpha. So I'll just increase the scale for this. Let's try something around 20. Now the pattern looks it looks too uniform. Let's try 5. Let's see. So I'm going to try as much as possible not to kind of overcomplicate the material. But I think I definitely need some contrast in here. So we need some contrasting here. Let's see, under this noise, let's see if we can adjust the scale for this. Let's see what that gives us. Okay, let's get some more contrast in here. So let's check this with this. Let's see what we have. Comparing it to this. Yeah, the color feels a bit too sharp. Feels a bit too much on the red part. So let me just dial this down a bit more. Okay. Let's see. So I'll just drag this under. Let me just name this light brown. You should probably just push it out a bit more. Then this particular one on top, just name this dark brown. So this particular one on top, I'm going to be using a different. Let me use a different marks in here. So we can use. I can probably use the. Let's see what we have. Let's try the cloud. I think this looks fine. Let's try this on here. Let's go to the marks. For this marks, we need to make some adjustment to this contrast. No, I don't want it to be too bright. Scaling, let's adjust the scale all the way up here. No, that feels a bit much though. Let's try something around 4. And I want something a bit broader than this, so let's see what we have in here. This looks fine, I guess. Yeah, I think this should work. This looks like it should work. Okay, let me just do a quick save. So I think now we can do some actual hand painting on top of all of this. To make it a bit more believable. So the hand paint is going to be actually 2 colors. So we're going to be using a darker tone for it. Then a much lighter tone for it also. Then some mix in between, kind of some other tones in between to kind of work on some of the areas to be more precise. So I think I'm going to start with probably start with the brighter tone, I guess. So let me just start with the brighter tone. So I'm just going to select all of this and group this. So I put this in a group. Then I'm going to introduce a new Okay, so let me just name this to base. Let me name this to base color. Right, I think we have, I believe we have most of the details in place. So if I should come in here, I believe we have most of the details in place. You know, that's what we need to do. We can always, okay, except for one thing though. I think I'll just do this on top. So there can see like more tiny, more greeny spots around this. Bit more greeny spots around this. So I'm going to do that on top of everything after painting my lighter tone on top of this. This will serve as a good base, which is fine. Hitting M on the keyboard. Let's just start painting some brighter tones with this. So I'll create a new base layer. I'll create a new fill rather. Create a new fill. So on this fill I'll turn off roughness should be on. I'll turn off metal, normal and ice. Then the roughness, I'll just put this around here. That should be fine. Then I can use the brighter tones. Let's just pick a brighter tone. I'm going to be using a tone from the face. I'm going to use a more brighter tone from the face instead. But let me just try and figure out which other part of the body has a brighter tone to it. So after picking out the brighter tone, I'm going to be using this reference to kind of block out where should be bright and where shouldn't be bright. So I think I can pick the tone from, yes, this should work just fine. This looks fine. So let me just name this paint over bright brown. So I'm going to use a black mask for this, and I'm going to use let me use the ZBrush to kind of start painting this in. I'll probably also want to do it symmetrically. So I'm going to be using the ZBrush. So it's basically this particular brush. Yeah, that's the brush we need. And I'm also going to be doing this, yes, like I said, symmetrically. So let's make sure symmetry is turned on for this. Where is that symmetry? It's supposed to be somewhere around here, somewhere. Let me see if I can shrink this and try to bring it out. It's still somewhere around here. I can't seem to find it. But is it already there? Symmetry is not yet turned on. Okay, I kind of found this, but I can't seem to make it work. Only when I select this and then I come in, select the maps and then I come in here like so. Then we have the symmetry too. Let's see if we can go back to the brush and then still, yes, it's in there now. That was quite tricky. So now I can just brush on top of this now, really. The brush size is a bit too much. So I'll take down the brush size a bit more, the bracket key, and then I'll continue. Just continue painting around here. Okay. I'll kind of blend this back down though later on, but for now let's just keep painting on some of this region. This is just seems to be running pretty slow. See? To probably take down the flow and the opacity down a bit more. In here, I might need to break symmetry for this. Before doing that, let's just paint on the side. Let's see how it easily blends back into the skin. Maybe let me just redo this again. I will do everything. This particular one just feels a bit too harsh on the surface. Let's redo this. So it is slowest flow around 48 and then stroke around 45. You can start repainting this again. It should make better sense to just kind of have this a bit lighter on it. Something like so. Okay. So most of this is not going to be actually be visible in our final render, but let's just get something in there. Take down the brush size. Okay. Let's see more like a purplish tone around this though. For the under parts, I need to paint this even more. So Same also for the face. Kind of get some knots there. Let me just get a closer view on this so I can be more precise with it. So it's something somewhere around here. Something more or less like so. And on the sides, okay. Let's see if there's a back view for this. Yeah, we can actually use this back view. This back view should work. Before the back view, the front part of the arm. Let's do this part of the arm. Let's do a bit more around here. A bit more on the under parts. Okay. Then definitely more for the palm. Maybe increase the flow a bit more. Brighten up the palm. Seems to have missed one particular mesh in here, the fingernails. But that's fine, we can always bring that in later on. Probably in the next lesson when I continue to texture this, I'll just bring that in. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. So okay, it should be fine. Then we can work on the back. I'm going to take this down again, somewhere around here. Start painting a bit more around here. Notice how the lower part is a bit darker compared to the upper part. So all of this we're still going to fix and refine and make it even better. A lot more darker tone at the back. Okay, I think this should work. I think now we can kind of introduce some. I think we can introduce some darker tone to this now. So I'll just duplicate the same. I'll duplicate the same layer. Name this dark brown. Then I'll add the black marks in there. Maybe even remove. Let's use a white marks to begin with. Then I can change the tone for this. Need something a bit more darker. Let's see if we can find more darker tone to this. Let's see, probably somewhere around here should be fine. Now add the black marks to it. Probably this time around I'll need to go out of symmetry. I'll do this out of symmetry. Okay, so with darker tone now, isn't that use a probably use a different brush for this. Speaking of using this powder, I'll use a different brush for this. So ask him to click on anything else outside SubstancePainter. Okay.